There it goes.
All right.
Wait for a few minutes.
Okay.
That's you, isn't it?
I
The
didn't
first
go.
one, the
Nope.
current viewer.
Nope.
Huh?
Nope.
Really?
I just got there.
That's you then.
I just got in. Okay, yeah, that's me. Let me do. Okay, I got 2 likes now. You got 2 likes.
Really? Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Just wait for people to get in.
1 viewer. 2 likes.
3. Alright, y'all come on in, say hi, have a seat. Y'all know the routine. If you don't, just come in, get your seat, get something to drink, sit down, we'll talk a little bit. Say hi.
Hi.
We'll get started here when a few more gets going here. See how many people can get to populate up in here. If y'all want to, go tell your friends and neighbors and enemies to hop on in here and we'll see what comes up. Got a lot of stuff been going on. I've been doing a lot of shorter videos. It seems to fill in the time a little bit better, and doesn't take as much out of me to do a video. Anyway, let me see where I'm at here. So we just keep waiting a little bit more. I guess a couple people dropped out. Haven't got started yet.
5 thumbs up, 5 watching.
Well, it's down to 3, it says now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Down to 2. Down to 1.
Ladon. Hi, Ladon.
Okay.
Yes, man. I got better start saying something or people will run off and not stay here. Well, I know some people will catch this up later and everything. If anybody's got some handheld radios, CB radios, walkie-talkies, handheld ham radios or anything like that, it might be a time for y'all to start looking in and getting kind of familiar with them. Already we've seen what happened the last couple of weeks, in fact several times all over the place, all over the United States, that secondary communications that really would be needed. Battery operated, your AA, AAA batteries, operated handheld communication devices would be an ideal thing to get if you don't already have them. As we've seen with North Carolina, Florida, of course California and other places where communications were cut off. So we might need to look into having secondary communication, or at least coordinating with somebody that has communication devices.
I understand. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's
So,
never been such a chatty, but...
Yeah.
All right.
I'm waiting on more people to get in here. But I highly suggest anybody to look into getting some kind of handheld or portable communication device. CB radios, walkie-talkies, or portable ham radio. You can get them all over the place, and it might be a good idea to go ahead and look into getting one. And we've seen with the power outages and the communication shutdown everywhere that it's might be a viable thing. That's something I picked up out of this is, you can't depend on what's there. Our infrastructure is already sorely flawed, and we might need to think outside the box on that. Let me read my notes back a little bit. Magnetic moon and everything. So like I say, just let for a few more people. A little update on that storm that hit North Carolina and everything like that. Hey Max, there's one community I'm familiar with and everything, and it was in North Carolina, Buncombe County. I was watching an interview with the county sheriff in that county, and the aide they was asking and everything like that. That county has a population around less than 20,000 people. All right. It was less than 20,000 people in this one county. Of course, it was hit kind of hard, but still, with what they already had for emergency services, I'm talking about body bags, okay, from the morgue and everything like that. They was asking for 500 more body bags for that one county, a population of around less than 20,000. And just gives everybody an idea of what kind of devastation has hit that area: North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, and on down to Florida and everything. This is from Helene, but they're still not giving anybody answers on how many people missing or dead or anything like that. And so, just giving you guys a rough estimate, we're going to expect numbers over 2,000 people from this incident that has perished from the storm of Helene. All kinds of things go into it about this, that, and the other without pointing fingers and everything like that. I think that's something right there that we need to take note of. That's a lot of people right there in one evening has passed away just from a supposed natural event. So that's really kind of bothersome, guys, if you think about it and everything. What kind of stuff that can be done to us without warning, an instant. Back up here on these notes a little bit. I want to tell you a little story. All right, this goes back several years ago, and I think it's back maybe in the 50s, at least in the 70s. Okay. Hey, Rick, what's up? Y'all all know about the soft drink wars between Pepsi and Coca-Cola, right? In that war for dominance of the Pepsi-Cola or Coke in the world and everything, they both kind of struck out evenly. But Pepsi happened to strike a deal with the Soviet Union for supplying Pepsi products to Russia, to the Soviet Union. This was done, I think it was in the 70s that they made this deal. It was a landmark deal for any corporation, anybody, to be able to sell their products in the Soviet Union. So, but the problem was that at the time, the Russian currency wasn't accepted as a world trade currency, so Pepsi could not sell their product in Russia for their currency because they couldn't trade it for anything. They couldn't use it to trade it for US dollars or anything else like that. It wasn't accepted anywhere in the world. So they came up with this deal that Russia would pay the Pepsi Corporation, the people that has Mountain Dew and everything else like that, Pepsi Corporation, they would pay them for Pepsi and vodka. And because of that, Pepsi Cola Company, became one of the largest importers of vodka in the United States during that time. It's kind of crazy sounding, guys, that a soft drink company was selling liquor. Well, that's not the only strange part about it is, guys, is that as time progresses, of course, we heard about the Soviet Union and the downfall of the wall and the breakup of the Soviet regime, and Russia became Russia and everything else like that. Well, when that happened, the Russian currency became worthless on the world market, even though it opened up the world market for them to be able to trade, but their money was worthless. And it became a big economic failing for Russia and everything like that. Well, Pepsi still had a contract to trade Pepsi for vodka, but they couldn't do it anymore. Their vodka, the money, the whole thing was worthless. So they had to strike up a deal because, of course, this was very lucrative. The guys, they're selling 7-Up, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Orange Crush, and all these other soft drinks that we've enjoyed most of our lives and everything. They used to import these to Russia, and these guys were drinking it up like we do Monster sodas. And so they couldn't stop the deal. So they struck out a deal that Pepsi would continue supplying the Soviet Union, Russia, with Pepsi products, and another agreement, a trade agreement that they made. And y'all won't believe the trade agreement. I'll go ahead and add this, that this trade agreement put Pepsi in a position to call up the Secretary of Defense and tell them that we have done more to end the Cold War than the United States has done, and ever since they've tried to. Pepsi done this in less than 15 years, done more to stop the Cold War than the United States has. And the reason they said this is because Russia's currency, of course, was no good. They couldn't sell vodka because it was worthless on the world market. So the only thing they had left that they could actually trade for Pepsi, and this is how much they wanted Pepsi. You think some of our people are bad about Mountain Dew and Pepsi and everything. Well, Russia decided to start trading their warships and submarines for Pepsi products. Mountain Dew, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, 7-Up. And I shit you not, guys. You can look this up and everything. That was the deal. And it was somewhere in the early 80s or maybe mid-80s that this deal struck, that Russia had to pay, would go ahead and pay with ships and submarines to Pepsi. And at the time, Pepsi, because of this deal, Pepsi amassed the 4th largest navy in the world. And I shit you not. This is a fact. You can look it up yourself.
Yeah.
I thought this was one of the craziest things I ever heard of.
Can't make this shit up.
You can't make it up, guys. You just can't make this up. So anyway, I thought y'all might enjoy that little bit of a story there. You're right, Rick. They're covering up a lot of stuff about what's going on with this weather stuff and everything like that. Of course, we just had one that hit Florida again, Milton. And that's kind of odd and everything. Everybody's talking about this. There's some kind of book some guy wrote, supposed to predict that Helene was supposed to be a big, massive event that wiped out all kinds of stuff. And then right after that, we heard about Milton coming in. And someone pointed out, now maybe some of you have already heard about it, about John Milton and the story, or the epic poem, or prose, if you call it, called Paradise Lost. So I looked it up and read a little bit of it. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it up here for you, and just to read a little bit from you guys. Paradise Lost. Here's the synopsis. Okay, I'm sorry I took a pause on this, guys. It talks about in the beginning, sometime I didn't read the poem, I just read a synopsis of it, guys. But in the poem, it talks about how the fallen angels came to earth and got with men, women, and everything like that. But one of the things that stuck out from us, and I'll go ahead and back this up first a little bit. Y'all know, I know anybody here has heard about Tartaria, about the time before when we had free energy, advanced sciences, and all this other stuff, and everything like that, guys. And we heard about this, right? Tartarian, the big monolithic buildings that we have no way of really doing it. These monolithic towers that was built, and everything like that. People talk about this all the time, Tartaria, guys, and it's a really big deal. I'm not saying it's real. I'm not saying it's false. I'm not saying too much about it, but this right here. Milton's story has two narrative arcs, one about Satan and the other about Adam and Eve. It begins after Satan and other fallen angels have been defeated and banished to hell, or as it is also called in the poem, Tartarus. In Pandemonium, the capital city of hell, or Tartaria, Satan employs his rhetorical skills to organize his followers, and he is aided by Mammon, Beelzebub, Belial, Chemosh, and Moloch. And I thought that was kind of interesting, since a lot of people want to talk about where hell is. And this book, which is written just a few years after the King James Version of the Bible that we're used to and everything that we associate with, this was written just like 50 years or 30 years after the King James Version came out, and taken directly from ancient text also. Tartaria is hell. Tartaria is on earth. I don't need to say a whole lot more about it, guys. You can look it up yourself if you don't believe me. It's right there. The facts are right in front of us of what they're telling us. And like I say, you can't make this stuff up, guys. You just got to look at it and analyze it a little bit and realize what they're telling us. Earth is hell. Going back again a little bit about the giants, okay, the fallen angels and the giants and everything like that. A lot of controversy how this conception could achieve. Of course, these people could assume any shape and everything like that. One of the things that came out in researching a little bit, or reading, watching videos and listening to stuff and reading about it and everything like that, long time ago, before in the before time and everything like that, of course, when giants were here, trees were gigantic and tall, and everything else was big as hell. All right, we all know about this and everything. People's talked about this before, and so we know they're giants. The Bible talks about it. Giant beasts, dragons, and dinosaurs, etc., etc., giant men. And we still hear about them today and everything. One of the things somebody brought up and everything, and I know maybe I'm associated in a kind of weird way, but a long time ago, guys, the gravity, or magnetism, if you will, of planet Earth was more intense, stronger. Everything was collected more and made everything more dense, compact. Not only that, but the oxygen content of our air was a lot thicker, heavier. It would take a lot of effort for us to be able to breathe that as we are. So because of these conditions on planet Earth, a entity that lived here, a person or whatever, an animal, whatever, trees, whatever, had to be big as hell. They had to have big lungs, they had to have big muscles, they had to have big bones to support these people, because the gravity done everything, the magnetism, as I call it, pulled everything back down. So to combat it, you had to become bigger and stronger. Of course, that took more resources and everything, etc. So, yes, there is actual proof. I'm Mr. Sparkles. Actual proof through atmospheric and geological conditions, not just from the bones and etc. and the hearsay and stuff, but actually that Earth was a lot more dense in not only its gravity or magnetism, but also in its atmosphere. And to support that, you had to be bigger than hell to walk through it. Hey, Gary. So this actually is kind of a specific way of proving, or a roundabout way of proving, that yes, there was giants. Hey, Kevin. Welcome. So, guys, we got a lot of stuff that's sideways and everything like that. And I was thinking about this, we got all the proof out here, guys, that tells us that we've been lied to, and that this, that, and the other is a lie, and this might be the truth, and that might be the truth. But we don't actually have no real proof. We've got nobody to come up and tell us, well, yes, that's actually the truth, that has any legitimate claims to actually being able to spout the truth. But you got to remember this, guys. There's been millions of trials dealt with in court with people's lives in the balance that has been convicted. People's been convicted on circumstantial evidence. Evidence that kind of paints a picture for these people to be guilty or whatever. And of course, that's where they're convicted. So we have a lot of circumstantial evidence that points to a lot of these events that we know is bullshit. We don't have no actual proof. We can't come up there and say this right here is written down in hard word that this is proof, but we do have the circumstantial evidence that supports everything that we've been saying, that we have been lied to, and everything is a bunch of hogwash and fairy tales. Exactly. So we don't have to have actual proof, guys. You hear these trials on Quincy and all these other TV shows and everything, and Law and Order and all that stuff. They just point a lot of pictures about this guy might have done this and he might have done that, and of course he's found guilty. So therefore, guys, that's the truth. There you go. Mud Fossil University is one of them that does it. There is a lot, guys. One of the things I want to talk about on this while we're here is we have discovered that they have portable magnetic arrays, microwave arrays, that they can drive around on flatbed trucks and tractor trailers and pull them anywhere. They can put them on a barge, guys, a small barge, and float them down the river just off the coast or whatever. And these are the same things as the HARP arrays. One thing about HARP arrays, guys, is different material, the antenna that they use, and the way they're shaped, an array, or the arrays are aligned, can cause different kinds of frequencies and effects. They can cause earthquakes, and of course wind or weather patterns change. During these last two storms that we had, if you go back and start watching on some of the Doppler radar, you'll see bands of radar or energy bursts going around directing these weather patterns. And there's no lie about it. I mean, it's right there in front of us that we can see it. Of course, they're not going to come out and say, yeah, we're doing it. But they have in the past. They've got all these patents and everything. They talked about they can do this, that, and the other. And of course, there it is. One of the other things me and Anna watched, and we caught this and we watched it a little bit this morning, is on the Weather Channel. We watched the weather patterns, how the jet streams have changed, guys. I mean, you wouldn't believe how chaotic these jet streams are. But one of them that was odd was there's a band of storms, if you will call it, and it stretched all the way almost from the west coast of Africa across the South American continent all the way to India. One continuous line of storms, guys. One continuous line of rain clouds that went from South Africa all the way to India. That ain't normal. That is nowhere near normal, guys. So they do have manipulation, guys. If you want to get on the Weather Channel or one of the other, anywhere you can, and start watching these weather patterns that's swirling around the Arctic and Antarctic region, they are just chaotic. We watched it today as like, was it 5 or 6 hurricanes were spinning off that jet stream off of the southern Antarctic. It's crazy, guys. And these patterns are not completely going all the way around. They're spinning around and trailing off, going up through the Atlantic, or spinning off and going up through the Pacific, or even down from the Arctic region down into our waters. They're not making a complete whirl like they used to. They're starting to spin off and they trail down into our region. And that's why we've been having so much anomalous weather. Y'all know they see the clouds, and they got regions on the earth that we cannot go. Other craft cannot go. And we know that our weather patterns, a lot of it is fed from our Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle. All they have to do, guys, go up there and start spreading their crap all over the place, and boom, it's in our face. And you don't need a whole lot. It's right there in front of you. Just look at it, guys. It's really right there, and it's horrible. It's horrible. We emptied out our water barrels today, and guys, there was, I don't know, like a black goo or a black slime that was in it, just coming down off the roof and from the rainwater that we've been saving up there. It was just kind of gross. And it's just, our water is toxic, guys, from the skies and the pollution and crap that they're throwing in, and it's crazy. It's just plumb crazy. So, let me get through here. Did y'all know that our current debt, as the other day, is last week, and I checked in, our current debt in the United States is $37 trillion. I'm not going to say this one done better, or any of the presidential or any of the cabinet people that's done better and everything like that. Our debt is $37 trillion, guys. And our interest payment on this, you got to turn away on me. No. Our interest on this alone each month is over $1 trillion. $1 trillion, guys. There is no way that we can ever pay back the interest, let alone the debt. Our economy is bottomed out, and it's getting ready to fail, flat on its ass. Like Venezuela, like Russia, Germany, and several other countries that had defaulted on their currency, on their loans from the world banks and stuff. They couldn't pay them back, so their currency, their whole banking system, the economy went flat. That's getting ready to happen now, guys. Seeing more and more action going on. The European Union is pulling away from the old breadbasket, central bank system, and starting to pull in with the BRICS nations, which is China and Russia and a few others pulling together. Right now, as it stands, there's 13 more countries have stopped dealing with the U.S. dollar, and it's pulling towards the BRICS nations with Russia and China and so many others. There's like 27 nations, I think, right now that's in with this group, and the U.S. dollar is not being used like they talked about. It's not being used as world trade currency like it used to be. We are getting ready to get defaulted on, guys. There's no doubt about it. Our currency is going to be worthless, etc., etc., and all along goes with it. One of the things I found out reading up on some of this stuff, guys, is excuse me, is about the water shortage. I know it's a side thing and everything like that, but they've been hammering in our head, not only here but worldwide, that there's a shortage of water. We're running out of fresh water to drink, drinkable water. And I've always thought this is kind of weird that, you know, we have a closed ecological system, and our water that's here can't go nowhere else but here. So we do see the lakes and rivers and etc. drying up. Shorelines getting further out, away from the coast and everything like that. So I just happened to run upon this, that Saudi Arabia, one of the richest nations in the Middle East, has suddenly been able to start planting gardens and growing crops and supporting themselves with food from their own country when they had never had no water before to do this. Suddenly, Saudi Arabia has developed this technology to drill deep, deep, deep into the earth where these ancient old aquifers used to be that they thought was dried up, but they recently found that they suddenly had water. So they drilled down to the sudden appearance of these underground water supplies and started growing their own crops. Not only crops, but hay for their agriculture, for their animals and stuff. Alfalfa, which is one of the most water-hungry plants or farm crops you can grow like that for animals. So they have an abundant amount of farm produce that they're growing now from the sudden introduction of water that they found suddenly in Saudi Arabia. One of the driest damn places in the world, guys. One of the driest places in the world. They suddenly found water. And now they have a lush vegetative thing going on. And meanwhile, we're told to ration our water, to conserve water. Even some people are told they can't have water. They can't actually get to their water in their ground, underground, in their own property. People are being denied this. So, again, circumstantial evidence. But it all points to one thing. Money is fake, but it's all the only thing we got to trade with right now. So we have to deal with what we got. You're polluting me. Excuse me for a minute. Let's see, let me get back here again. Yeah, guys, I want to reiterate this. I said this at the beginning of the video, that, you know, anybody you know, you tell your people that you know and everything, that because of the recent conditions we had with communication and the grid down in these areas and everything like that, people wasn't able to talk or get help or let people know they're alive or anything like that. They had no communication. Cell towers were down, electric lines down, water off, and everything like that. So I really emphasize, guys, if you can, find you secondary communications, handheld devices, radios, CB radios, ham radios, or even walkie-talkies. Decent, not the kids kind, you know what I mean, but some kind of secondary communication, guys. Even if it has to be smoke rings, because what's happened recently, guys, we really need to start depending on ourselves, not depend on somebody else. I'm working on a title, working on another video, guys, and it's going to be a beta test when there's no one to call And it's going to be talking about the recent failures of our system. I don't piss you off, Max. Guys, we watched a movie last night, and it came out in 2022. I'm big on predictive programming, and Anna and I both kind of caught it. At the end of this movie, it's a Batman movie, of course. We was looking for something kind of cool. And the storyline was kind of weak, I'll be honest with you. I really didn't think the storyline was all that strong. But what struck me out is that these things that was going on in the story happened around the end of October into the 1st of November. So they kind of give you an idea what it's about, maybe. There was 2 political candidates running for the office. One of them an incumbent, and another one, another party or another representative coming in wanting to take over. So that was there. So anyway, during the movie, a lot of chaos going on, and these 2 candidates, both the candidates, wound up getting killed before the election. Before the election, the night before the election, there's a big outbreak of crime, and then explosions destroyed the seawall, which kept the water from the ocean and from the bay from coming in and flooding the city. And there was a series of explosions, weakened the wall, and the city was flooded, undulated with water from the ocean. And therefore, because they had no candidates and people were washed away, they had no election. They had to appoint a council to run Gotham in their interim until they recovered. What we've seen recently, guys, these last 2 events were a beta test. And don't make no mistake about this. These were beta tests to see what we would do, how we'd react, how the nation would react in the event of an all-out calamitous catastrophe, and communications, grid, water supply, roads were all gone. How would the people act? They got their fucking answer. This was a beta test, ladies and gentlemen. No doubt about it. This was a beta test. These last 2 things were beta tests. Mark my word. Operation Paperclip. I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of people don't know about what. Wait a minute. Operation Paperclip. Is that the one where they went to Antarctica?
No.
That's where they brought the Nazi guys in?
Let me see. Operation Paperclip. Operation Paperclip.
Yeah, it's where they brought the Nazis in.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. What a lot of people don't know about Operation Paperclip, we got the Nazi scientists, the German scientists, and Russia did too. Argentina and several other countries got these people from Germany and used them in their own program. Well, there was another bunch of people that was included in this Operation Paperclip that a lot of people do not know about. In fact, they were worse, the more horrific about the experiments they was doing on people, like the Nazis was. These guys, you can read up on it and everything. I don't want to go into it, but they was in trying out Crimeas, just to put it bluntly. They was trying to create Crimea. So this is Japan, guys, and it's noted throughout the South Pacific and everything that Japan has been doing these experiments on people and animals and other things and hybrids and stuff like that long before World War II. So at the end of World War II, part of Operation Paperclip, not only did we get the German scientists, but we also got a lot of geneticists and researchers from Japan. A lot of people didn't know about this. And that started our genetics program, our space program. What's up, Pedo Joe? Got doobies and beer and back roads. There you go.
Operation Overcast.
What's that one? Operation Overcast and Paperclip were laid in terms. Okay. Overcast. Joint Chiefs, Joint Intelligence. Wow. Yeah, this goes deep, guys. This goes really deep on this about the German and Japanese researchers that was brought here. NASA. Everybody thinks NASA stands for never a straight answer, but also it could stand for Nazi American Space Alliance. Think about it. Excuse me a little bit. So anyway, there's nothing here. Where you at, Pito? Hi, Paul. Blanchard, Oklahoma, man. The only thing I can say is why. I don't know if Project Blue Beam is part of the Northern Lights or not. To be honest with you, it might play a part in what everything is. As y'all notice on the title, I said pyramids, obelisks, cell towers, and asteroids. There's a lot of evidence now, if you kind of look at it the way I do and everything, that okay, let me back this up. We are running out of precious minerals on our Earth, stuff that we really need, like gold, nickel, zinc, and things like this. Well, we do have still a lot, but guys, we need a lot more. We are running out of minerals, rare earth minerals and stuff like that. And the only place these things come right now that we can is deep earth. Y'all notice we've been having a lot of volcanoes and lava eruptions and everything like that, and that's bringing a lot of these deep earth minerals back to the surface. But still, there's only a finite supply of these, and we've been told throughout our time and everything that these minerals that we get come from outer space, come from all these asteroids that impact the earth and everything, meteors and everything. They bring these minerals and they get shredded down into the earth and everything like that, whatever. But that's how they get here. We all know that. So we're about out of that stuff, guys. We have run. I've been talking about this for several years. There's been report after report, report after report, talking about they're basically running out of gold. The price of gold is going sky high. Why do you think gold is going high? It's because it's becoming less and less available, harder to get, deeper in the earth. So yes, the price is going to go up. Pretty soon it's going to hit a point where we don't have any, or they're going to say there's no more. So that's the reason they're trying to scrap everything they can for gold, even from electronic devices, even the fingers on your memory cards and things like that. So the only place that really we can renew our gold supply and some of these mineral supplies, since we can't get them from Earth, is from outside of planet Earth. And we're not ready to go out and start salvaging stuff from Mars, the Moon, Venus, etc. stuff, any of the others that's close by us. So we're not ready to do that. Hey, Mr. Mission Control. So since we already know that these asteroids and meteors that's flying by us at 12,000, 20,000, 30,000 miles an hour are loaded with these minerals that we like to have. Gold, zinc, iron, etc., copper, everything else, guys, that we use is flying by us. Boom, 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 you know. So recently we've been seeing movies about them being able to go up to asteroids, planting a bomb on it and blowing it up and avoiding Earth and everything. We've seen a lot of these movies, you know, they're kind of cool, but no way. Well, yes, they do have the technology and the ability to guide asteroids. Yes, indeed, you guys. They could send satellites up and push, nudge, or whatever it is they talk about, and move these asteroids around and send them around the planet Earth. They could also nudge these in such a way where they might be able to perhaps even direct them to where they want them to strike on planet Earth. They have talked about this. Russia has talked about this, that the United States and others has been directing meteor strikes at them. Of course, we think this is kind of crazy, but now we start thinking about this, that, you know, they do have it. They talked about it. We even saw them film. They sent a satellite to one of the asteroids and set off a bomb thinking, you know, that this was going to do it, and all it did was kind of blow up a bunch of chunks. We even seen this in movies that they're going to do this, guys, and the motherfuckers went ahead and fucking done it. They all told these movies, told them that it's fucking stupid to do it, and they fucking did it anyway. What the fuck? Okay, anyway, back on the subject. So anyway, they can direct asteroids and meteors, guys. All right, no doubt about it. So now we need to think up and back again. How are we going to, if they want to renew our resources, our heavy metals, or gold and everything else on planet Earth, even uranium and all this stuff, if they want to repopulate Earth with these minerals, how can they do it without going to another planet? Well, you got to bring the stuff to you. And the reason I say this is because we watched a movie, again, these predictive programming movies, Don't Look Up, maybe y'all have seen it, but the smart guy, owner of these spacecraft special things, you know who he might look like, Mr. E.M. Anyway, he went and sent rockets up there and blew up some asteroids because, why? Because the monetary value of these asteroids coming to Earth far outweighed any danger they could possibly conceive, and therefore they sent satellites and ships and bombs up there to harvest these asteroids and blow them up, and therefore they came down and started pelting the shit out of Earth, and, you know, don't look up because you'll get hit in the head. Anyway, it was a kind of a comedy spoof on this, but yes, guys, they can do this. And the way they can do this is very far out there, really reaching way out there. But we got to go back to what Earth does. What is Earth? Earth produces electricity, magnetic electricity. We got solar wind, solar energy coming in. Somehow through our atmosphere, hoobly boobly magic shit goes on, and it goes into a magnetic energy, goes through the center of Earth, comes out, and another thing, it creates a bubble of magnetic energy that's around the Earth. We all heard about Tesla and the free energy that travels through Earth. We know where it comes from and how it gets there. Okay? And that's why I think these, electric companies are a bunch of hogwash. I think they're selling this free fucking energy that's coming out of the Earth. They're not really producing it. But anyway, back to anything like that. We know that the pyramids, the Sphinx, and everything else was built way before. In fact, right now they're coming out and talking about 13,000 years ago, guys. Before the so-called Younger Dryas period. Okay? That is when the Sphinx, these pyramids were built. Even the ones in South America, as the Aztec, the Incas, and several others like that, their pyramids date back 13,000 years. And of course, according to the research I have uncovered, and a lot of other people have talked about this and agree on this, that the story in the Bible from Adam and Eve on the creation on is around 8,400 years, 8,500 years. So this amazing discovery that there's things out there that's older than predates the biblical times tells us a lot. So anyway, back to these pyramids. We know that these people in Tartaria knew about free energy that traveled through the Earth, and they could tap onto it anytime they wanted and run these amazing machines and things like that. So these pyramids were not batteries. They were not energy devices. They had a capstone on all of them. Y'all remember them talking about these capstones that's on these pyramids and they're missing now? These capstones were gone. So these pyramids are out there, and they're not only in Egypt, but they're all over the world, guys. You know that. They're all over the damn place. We've seen them everywhere. So instead of a storage device they collected energy from Earth. But it wasn't for us to harness it so much to power our machines and our life and everything. Guys, they did it for another thing. These pyramids were used to create magnetic energy to bring asteroids and meteors, planetoids to Earth so they can harvest the minerals and regrow Earth or grow Earth even more. Earth is ever expanding. It's growing and growing and growing, getting bigger as we talk. And whether you believe it or not, yes it is. But anyway, they would use this energy. You know how they're lined up with stars and constellations, and they have these certain viewpoints when certain asteroid belts come through. Guys, all you got to do is just look at the circumstantial evidence that they're using these pyramids, or did use these pyramids, as a way to draw asteroids, perhaps, or even shoot energy beams into space to bust up these asteroids to bring the minerals back to Earth. Now we jump forward now to our times. Suddenly, we don't have pyramids. We have obelisks. Y'all see these big giant obelisks. Same thing. The mineral they're made out of, the material they're made out of, draws energy. Y'all know it. Granite with crystalline structure, with a quartz-like structure in it, is just like a big giant lightning rod. Think about it, guys. So, they would use these to bring asteroids or bust up asteroids to populate the Earth with the minerals that they need to get. The gold, the zinc, the iron, the copper, etc., etc. Because that's what they need to build their world with. Lynn. So, now we got cell phone towers, guys. Cell phone towers. Y'all know that we don't need this many damn towers. Y'all see them everywhere. So, we know that these towers are grounded to Earth. We know the energy comes out of Earth and then spreads out. These cell towers, while they serve multiple purpose antennas and stuff like that, they're being used to help direct these asteroids and meteors to Earth. Y'all seen now in the last 3 or 4 years how month after month after month we're always in some kind of asteroid belt or another? Why do you think this is suddenly possible? Did they move us somewhere? Did they suddenly drift out of our pathway into another place where they started getting hit by asteroids? No. No. We have not been drawn anywhere. We have not been moved. They use the magnetics of Earth, shooting now these cell phone towers and other antenna type, to draw asteroids towards us. Asteroids have a magnetic signature, just like Earth does. Opposites attracts, like ones repel. So they can alternate the frequency with these cell phone towers, etc., etc., to draw certain type of asteroids, meteors, and everything to start bringing all these minerals back to Earth. Anyway, I know it's kind of far-fetched, guys, but you know, sometimes you got to really think outside the bubble to see really what's going on. And I do believe that is a possibility. The other thing I think about, guys, on this, and me and Anna's talked about it and everything, she tries to keep up. I'll talk crazy shit sometimes. But we all know that the moon is hollow. We all know that the moon is an artificial place. And there's a lot of speculation about people or entities, whatever, aliens, whatever you want to call them, are living there inside of Earth, on top of Earth, and these little things like that. But, so, we all hear about this, guys. So we wonder what the purpose of the moon is. Is it a counterbalance to Earth, keep us from wobbling way out this way and that ever? I don't think so, because we know the moon is hollow. We know the Earth is hollow because it rings like a bell when it's struck the right way. So anyway, what is the moon? We know it's got machines in there. We know it has devices in there. What are they? Well, our imagination runs. This goes back to our atmosphere. The sun kicks off this plasma energy. It filters back to us and other planets and everything in between. And magically, in our atmosphere, our magnetosphere, this solar energy magically gets turned into fucking magnetism, or electric energy, basically, and goes through the Earth, guys. Has anybody ever really thought about how preposterous this really sounds? Really think about it, guys. Just think about it a minute. There's no actual proof out there telling us that the sun's explosions, this energy coming from the sun, It's creating our magnetosphere. It does affect it. It does collapse it. It does do bad things with it. But there's nothing out there that tells us that it has anything to do with help creating our electric energy. Okay, so we go again back to what is the purpose of the moon? Is the purpose of the moon, since it's locked into a centric orbit of Earth, always in the same place, is it collecting solar energy and converting it into magnetism, magnetic energy? The moon stays at the same place all the time, the same distance. It varies a little bit about the distance away from Earth, but it stays within the same area of the orbit of Earth. The only real way that this is possible, guys, if you really think about it logically, is magnetism. Plain and simple. Magnetism. And like I say, we need to look outside of the box at what's presented to us instead of accepting what they've been telling us. That all this crap they've been telling us is really horsewash. The sun isn't providing us with electrical energy. The moon is. The moon stays stationary because of magnetism. Gravity is magnetism. And it just, like I say, we need to look outside of the box at this, guys. And I really think that this is a possibility. I don't say it's true, guys, but I do believe that these cell phone towers are similar in idea to what the pyramids were. Anyway, I do believe they're connected. And I do believe they act in the same way to bring these asteroids in or project energy out. So, it's there. These windmills, guys, these windmills also create a frequency that's vibrating through the ground. Of course, we know what's going on with the ground, earthquakes and the shifting and the crust and stuff like that. And it's just crazy, everything like that they're doing here. And they know that they're doing it, guys. And that's the thing, they know that they're doing it. And like I say, the circumstantial evidence points that these SOBs are guilty of, as charged of pretty much everything of what we've mentioned, and a lot more.
Yes.
But that's my idea on this, guys. I do believe there is a connection there between the moon and the sun and our magnetic field. I do believe that the cell towers, the pyramids, and these obelisks and other things like that has to do with the free energy of Earth and attracting or repelling things from outside of our planet, and as well as frequencies. It's just crazy, guys. Like I say, the windmills don't support the tunnels. I don't think so. I think they're just trying to sort. The other day, guys, was listening to this guy talking about the crust, and because I can't remember that actually, guys, how it went and everything. They're talking about the water supply in the world, and they're talking about between the crust and the mantle. We talk about there's lakes of lava and stuff like that, rivers of lava in there. But there's also a layer of, a better term for it is thick water. It don't boil. So that's the best way to put it. It's thick water. But it's there. And that's what we've been riding on. The magma has been riding above, and our crust is riding on top of that. And that's why we've been seeing a lot more slippage, is because of this water. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. We talk all day. We do talk about everything. Anna comes up with some great stuff. I mean, she keeps me on it. Y'all wouldn't believe how much she comes out with, talks about. Anyway, guys, I think our electromagnetic field is created probably through the moon or the interaction of the moon. And it's held in place by magnetism, nothing else. It's an artificial satellite, of course. We know that. We know that. I'm pretty sure there's entities on there doing the things. What else I got? y'all heard about the fires going on in Montana. I guess a big lot of land got burned up there. Like what happened in North Carolina, the flooding there, a lot of land got laid waste to. This is going on in Montana too. A fire broke out. And the funny thing about this is, guys, that this fire broke out about 9 months after a geological study found that area in Montana has a shit ton of lithium or lithium sulfates in the ground around there. It's funny how that works out. How these people are getting down, burned out of house, home, and lives, and they suddenly have all this free lithium that they can scarf up the land for pennies on the dollar. Just like, it's funny how the fires in Paradise, California, Orville, and all that up through that area, guys, these fires wiped out these people and these floods and everything. Just recently after they released a study that there's a shit ton of gold in them there hills. It's kind of funny how that works out like that. It's real strange how this shit works out. So I wonder what they discovered in the fucking ground in Florida. Right?
Right.
So, let me go through here, straight line. That storm that went across the globe. That's all the stuff I talked about before. Artificial sun. I'm sorry, guys. I'm unorganized anymore. I got Anna to help take care of me, keep me straightened up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a job.
That's about all I got right now, guys. I have a lot of random thoughts about different things and everything like that, but that's about the gist of it. So you got to be aware of what's going on. One of the things I want to bring out, somebody else brought this up and everything like that, and it's kind of funny how politics works out. I'm going to delve into politics. They talked about how these two parties play off each other and everything. Like, if the one side is shining star better than the other side, the losing side, actually makes more money. They get more donations to help them, the poor, you need help kind of thing. You need more donations. And you need more money for speaking. You make money off these speeches and everything. These people go around promoting this political party, that political party, this agenda, that agenda. Well, they don't do it free. They make thousands upon thousands of dollars for doing these appearances and doing these talky talks. So while both parties makes money and both people anybody that appears on the stage makes money, the losing side actually makes more because they have to talk more. They have to have more people up there talking and stuff like that. So yeah, even though the one party is losing more, they're actually making more money. And it's funny how that works out. The other thing that come out is it's kind of odd that we didn't notice it before, and maybe someone else did and everything like that. That back in 2016, that election there, we had an obvious choice for who to vote for. We had the Wicked Witch of the West and Mr. Goldenhair. Of course, the populace went with Mr. Goldenhair because the person represented as the Wicked Witch of the West, well, was pretty much more wicked than the Wicked Witch of the West, so forth and so on and everything. So y'all know what I mean without going into name calling and everything. Like, so therefore, we jump ahead to the recent president and their office and their cabinet and everything. We got Sleepy-Eyed Joe and Camel Toe. Okay, we obviously can see, and everybody in the United States, around the world, in fact, can look and see what kind of failed president or representation of a certain party that the president in an office has been. In fact, he's done more to hurt the Democratic Party than anybody else has ever done in the whole time in office. So therefore, the Democrats already know that this is a losing fight. They already know that this is a wash for them. They ain't going to get nothing out of that. So just like in 2016, they already knew that they could not elect another Democrat in office. So they put some kind of floppy head, bimbo, whatever dumbass up on the stage and try to convince people to vote for them when they already knew that there was a losing proposition. So again, we have the cackling idiot of a failed political party or a political presidential office, the co-president of this political office is them nothing but a failure. So of course, anybody in their decent mind around the United States already knows that we don't want this cackling fool bimbo running the country. That does nothing but laugh, okay? They don't want that person. Everybody knows this, guys. It's already a wash. And yet we're still hearing all the bull talk and everything like that and everything about it. And it's already a wash. It's already done. The only way they can stop this now is if they eliminate the candidates. Like in the movie Batman from 2002. They stopped the election by flooding the area, the town, Gotham, and eliminating both candidates. We've seen the Simpsons program. What more do y'all need? Again, circumstantial evidence, guys. It points to everything right here, right now. That perhaps, and I don't like putting dates down. I never do because it always come back and bite you in the ass. But for what I can tell, right now we need to be paying real hard attention to what's going on now between now and the day after November 5th, November 6th. Y'all need to pay attention. One of the things they're telling people, of course, is be situational awareness of your surroundings. If you're out and about, or even if you're at home, pay attention to what's going on in your area. If you got people coming up to your door, don't matter who you are, big strong man, somebody with a handgun in their pocket and everything, if you got somebody coming up to your door and you don't know who the hell it is, do not open it. Already showing videos, guys, of somebody, a kid knocking on people's door, people opened up and they're gang rushed. Alright? Beaten, raped, killed, and all this other stuff, robbed. Don't open your door if you don't know who it is. Plain and simple. Alright? I'm sorry to say this. Keep an eye on what's going on in your neighborhood with your neighbors. Watch everybody's coming and going like you're the detective on NYPD Blue. Okay? You need to start watching and paying attention to everything that's going on around you. Even strange vehicles that you don't know, you've never seen before, don't know who it is. Watch them. Just watch and see if they come back and forth a couple of times. Watch this stuff. See if they come by a couple of days in a row. Pay attention, guys. It's getting bad. Of course, we all know where a lot of this stuff is coming from. People that's not used to our culture and our way of life has been coming here from other places, and they're not used to being around civilized people, somewhat civilized people, so they act according to what they think they should act. And it ain't good. But I really stress this a lot. Situational awareness, not only when you're out in the town or going down the road or whatever, but even at home. Pay attention. There ain't nobody out there on your side except yourself. I mean, don't be kind of harsh on that, but like that. But like I said earlier in the video, pretty soon you ain't gonna have nobody call for help, and the only people you're gonna have is you and your neighbors or whoever else you might have around you. So you need to start getting that in your mind of what you're gonna do, what you're gonna do when there's nobody to call. Because pretty soon, we already know that. In Florida, this recent time, the night before, the night of the storm, they stopped 911 response. They cut down 911 response centers. What?
Sorry.
No. They turned off the 911. North Carolina, they have no communications, no 911 service available, period. because nothing was there. Other places that had these landslides, these floods, and fires and everything like that, guys, they have no infrastructure to call 911. Okay? So we need to pay attention to what these events have been going on, that sometimes there is nobody to call. And all you're going to have is you and your neighbors. And that's why I stress communication, secondary communications for everybody, if you can think of it. Handheld walkie-talkies, CB radios, ham radios, anything like that. When they don't come for you, that's right. So we've learned this, we've seen this. This is a beta test, what we've been seeing the last 2 weeks, 14 days, 15 days. It's more or less a beta test. And we need to take heed. Yeah, there is a lithium mine in large area of lithium in North Carolina, but also they have something else that's there too. Is just certain kind of quartz. Quartz has different varying degrees and consistencies, but this one area in North Carolina has a very prized type of quartz. It's a quartz they use in making artificial intelligence chips. And it's one of only like 3 places in the world that they can get this type of quartz. It's also in the same area as this lithium mines are. Again, like you said, it is a land grab, no doubt about it. And I just wonder what they got in North Carolina that they're after. Florida that they're after. Gators? I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, that's the truth here, guys. It's really obvious without them coming out and saying that they're actually doing this, but we see it. Pembroke, yeah. So yeah, and that's why no help was sent. That's why they held their hand. Like I say, guys, this whole thing, the current regime at the White House is a failed, and there's no way, really, short of stealing, lying, cheating, and stealing, that they can ever come and be able to retain the White House. Of course, we know they can do this and everything like that. We heard the stories. But here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Both sides can do the manipulation on the ballots. So don't let them point the fingers at one without pointing the fingers at themselves too, because they both can do it. And they both have people from offshore that can do this. Look for a rocky road for the next little bit, guys. For the next 3 weeks, it's going to be rough. And all hell's going to break loose. And I think we have to be ready for that. What's that? Did I forget anything?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So anything y'all got? Y'all want to bring us some stuff? I know there's no way I can cover everything. There's been so much going on, guys. It's not just every day. It's every hour. Just about there's something news breaking loose. I will break out a little bit on this and talk about what's going on in the Middle East. With Israel and Lebanon and everybody else, guys. It's looking real bad over there. A lot of, it's off the hook. The IDF is like a rabid dog that's been turned loose, or a pack of rabid dogs that's been turned loose. And they're off the hook. They're shooting at the UN people. They're shooting at journalists and killing journalists. They're shooting down journalist drones or other UN drones. It's like a pack of animals, guys, off the hook. It really is. The UN, European news agencies, all kinds of news agencies, including the UN, are starting to make strong statements about what's going on over there. And so far, I can't remember how many countries have spoke up, but a lot of people are turning away from what's going on in the Middle East there. Even Saudi Arabia is making strong terms against the efforts going on there. So we might be seeing a real quick turn in the attitude towards Israel. And it might go bad for Israel. There's fluff talk, I guess you call it whisper talk, perhaps a war crimes council being convened. That's kind of the scuttlebutt talk on that. So,
excuse me.
I was the other day, a while back, somebody accused me of just being a puppet, a parrot, of saying what other people talk about, other people are bringing out in news and everything like that. And I laughed at it, guys. I laughed at it. It didn't bother me because, you know what? That's what all of us do. We get stories from somebody else, and we turn around and tell each other about it, or we spread it on our YouTube channels, or TikTok, or Twitter, or whatever else. On Facebook even. We repeat what we heard. And I guess this person was upset because evidently I heard more than they did, and I could talk about more than they did. So, yes, I'll pay attention. I do repeat what I hear, but that's how you find out stuff, isn't it, guys? You listen to what other people know. Other people listen to other people, so they know. So, yeah, that's right. I do repeat what I hear. I'll tell people what I hear. But also do a little research, as y'all seen. And I come up with stuff that's actually changed a lot of people's narrative on the current events in a lot of different channels and everything. These little comments I've made here and there, spreading knowledge, has been leading a lot of people to a lot of other information that they've been doing. So yes, I do my research, guys. I don't do it as much as I used to because, well, I'm old and I'm tired and I don't stay up late. So yeah, I don't do the research like I used to, but sometimes things fall in my lap, and you got to follow the yellow brick road when they lead you somewhere, and that's what I do. I don't do the hard research like I used to. Y'all wouldn't believe some of the stuff I used to. Anyway, never mind. But yeah, I don't do as much research. I do repeat what I hear, and I do my own little analysis of it and add y'all my own little knowledge or peculiarities about what I know or might know, and give y'all perspective on it that might be hopefully informative to everybody. I ain't worried about these naysayers. I mean, the way I look at it is, they ain't got nothing else going on in their life, so they have to say negative about somebody else. And that's about the truth of it. I don't bother with them. They're not worth it. But I wanted to address this just one time and everything. That, I think it's kind of ridiculous that these people go around spreading comments like this, and they have no way, there's no reason for it. I mean, if you don't like my content, you don't have to watch it. You don't have to make comments on it, but, whatever. That's what your jollies is, going around busting other people's bubbles, or trying to bust other people's bubbles. Well, more power to you. Okay, Max, that's good. Well, no, I'm all about trying to get along with people, guys. That's why I don't really get into it, arguments and everything, and discussions with people, and when they want those disparaging comments and everything. That's their opinion, okay? And my opinion, well, is my opinion, and they don't need to know it. I control my words. I control my energy. They don't. And that'd be a good way for us to think about it and everything like that. And when somebody steps up and throws milk chocolate on your donut and everything, it's okay. That's right, Tony. That's right. We learn by listening to guys. You know how I found out this other stuff that I've been talking to you about is I'll go somewhere and listen to somebody else talk about it. And I'll look it up a little bit about it. Anna helps me out too. You wouldn't believe how much she does. She's sitting over there, look at this. And she'll go over here and find out, well, did you know? Blah, 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 and adds it in. So this expands our knowledge. And again, knowledge is 3/4 or 90% of beating fear. Knowing what's going on, knowing what's going to happen. Well, guys, the only thing from there on is you're prepared. You're not afraid. So knowledge is conquest the conquest of fear. And there you go. So if you don't like the idea that I'm spreading every information that other people has, well, go ahead, sit over there in the dark and suck your thumb like a little boy and be happy with your coloring book and your puppies. That's all I can say. Your bank was messed up. There's been a lot of talk about these banks getting blockages on their thing. I don't know what's up about it, guys, but it all started a few weeks ago with the Microsoft glitch that we had. And all of a sudden now we're starting to see these systems getting blanched, lost control of and everything like that. You wish you had puppies in it. You'll be able to find you a puppy around there. Be informed, guys. And I've always talked about this. Don't take one person's word for it. Go out and find people that talk opposite of what you think, what you feel, what you believe. Listen to what they say with an open ear and compare it to what you think and what you believe, and that'll make you a more rounded person in what you believe and everything like that. But yeah, fear is half the battle. They keep us in fear. They got us whooped. The other part of the battle is keep us hungry and thirsty. That's one of the things during the recent scamdemic that we had in the 20s and everything. They never run out of beer, wine, or weed. You ever notice that? There was no shortage of that anywhere, was there?
Never.
Thank you, honey. I appreciate you selling that, Paula. I do appreciate that. Feeling comfortable being able to hang out in here and everything. I'm not sure if I'm waking people up anymore, guys. I really don't think that's the point of everything right now. We're in over our heads. That's for sure. The only thing we do is hang on and hope for the best right now. People got to start. I really don't want to talk in a defeatist way, guys, and it sounds like I am, but we need to start wrapping our head around what's going on and quit living and thinking about what happened in the past and the way things should be if we had our wishes. Okay, that's a big difference between what was, what we wanted to be, and what's really going on and what's really going to happen. And there's some people, I'm not here, guys, but I've seen it in other people's posts and everything on YouTube and Facebook and stuff, that they're really not accepting what's happening in the world. And they need to wake up. They really need to wake up. Because whether they like it or not, the shit is hitting the fan. And so you better have something over your mouth. Exactly. Well, I can't remember William Holden, of course, he quoted this from somebody else. I don't remember who it is. It might have been from Aleister Crowley, for all I know. But he said, never let a good disaster go to waste. So yes, not only will they create disasters and things like this, but they will use them to capitalize for their other benefit for different things like that. You know, of course, we already know about the martial law and all this other stuff that they're doing and changing everything else like that. Oh, that reminds me, guys. I wanted to bring up something else. I'm sorry to change the subject, but that's how I am. Y'all know, I've talked about this a couple of times, about off the coast of Japan, they have found an island with an isolated community of apes. I think there were chimpanzees and others like that and everything. But they had found that that these apes had no contact with humans whatsoever. That's what they say, okay? I'm just telling you what they said. So, but they was using tools they had developed and used. Now, I'm not talking about taking sticks to poke holes in the ground to get termites out or rocks to crush nuts and stuff like that. But there's actually assembling and building and using complex lever action type tools and stuff like that, and wrapping stones to sticks to make axes, like we've heard about the Neanderthals, etc., using even Native Americans, even other indigenous species have done this. They had talked about this, and the odd thing is that there's other islands near this that the apes on these other islands was developing along the same line without any human contact, showing them how to develop complex tools, etc., and how to build a different types of society. Even, I mean, guys, it's kind of really advanced for simple type minds. Okay, so anyway, evidently this is something that's going on in some other place. Now, I don't know the pretense to all this or anything like that, so I'll go ahead and add this in. We all heard about War of the Planet of the Apes, Planet of the Apes movies, where the monkeys took over everything, right? We all heard about this, all right? We even seen the movies where they're using guns and herding humans up and rounding them up, etc., So yeah, we've seen these movies, 60s on up, and the current ones that they got going on now. Well, even in one of the current movies, there was an ape, a chimpanzee, that grabbed up a machine gun and started shooting at people, right? What's up, Steve-O? So, there was a clip happened on, I'm not sure where it was, but these gentlemen were sitting around, messing around with AK-47s, and there was a chimp that came up, and they's playing around with it and everything like that, and one of them handed it a gun. Guess what? The ape turned around, put its hand on the stock of the gun, and started shooting the son of the bitches. No shit, man. It was a video. I didn't capture it. I didn't save it and everything like that. But I don't know if it's real. And you know how good they are with CGI and stuff. But it held it just like it was doing it and just turned around and run these bastards out shooting a couple of them.
You told him with the one with the knife? Sharpening a knife?
Oh, yeah. And I pointed this out and everything. There was another one of these monkeys in, I can't remember, India or someplace like that, like baboon or whatever kind of monkeys they are. But they're all over the place. All right? They got a whole city block that's theirs. And the cops don't even bother them. Okay? But here's the thing, guys. There's a monkey. They have gang wars between these tribes of monkeys, guys. And they take over the street. Okay? You saw the video? Thank you, Tony. So you know what I'm talking about. So there's this monkey sitting there checking him out. And he's got a knife with a blade about 8 inches long. And he's taking it, sharpening it on a stone. I shit you not, guys. This monkey's just sitting there checking out, sharpening his stone, sharpening his knife on a stone. What the ever loving hell is going on, guys? We got monkeys sharpening stones and monkeys using machine guns. And having turf wars in the city.
They are.
It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. So, yeah, guys, I mean, and, you know, these things like that stick out in my mind. We heard about in West Virginia, in Pennsylvania, I think it was also, about this, it was West Virginia a few years back, about this truck carrying these infected monkeys wrecked, and the monkeys got loose. Y'all remember hearing about that a few years ago? That got covered up real quick. Now we got monkeys using machine guns and sharpening fucking knives.
Monkey see, monkey do. Yeah, so they showed.
Monkey see, monkey do. You're right. Don't look up. That's right, man. You got it, Steve-O. My thing.
Okay.
Sorry. 12 Monkeys. That was another one. We watched it the other night again. That was pretty good. Something else I want to bring up real quick here a little bit, guys, to keep it going a little bit longer. Y'all heard about the dead internet theory, where there's nothing new being on the internet and it's all created by AI and the computer generated images and stuff like that. And I'm sure y'all have heard about it. If not, y'all look it up. Here's a little thing that adds into it that kind of makes it that either we're living in a simulation or nothing is real anymore for that most, if you want to look at it that way. You call? I know what you mean, Steve. Oh, there's so much dirt. Even that movie, Batman, 2022 Batman, talked about dirt under the road. What was I talking about? Shit. Don't do this to me. What was I talking about, guys?
I forgot myself. Well, let me see. Monkeys.
Yeah, we did that. Oh yeah, the dead internet theory. I'm sorry, guys. I have problems. Anyway, somebody brought this up today, and it took a minute to think about it and everything, and me and Anna talked about it for a few minutes, is that I want right now each and every one of you to sit down for a minute and think about this for a minute before you say anything. We don't really have any more original thoughts. Everything we come up with, everything we think, actually came from somebody else. We have no more original thoughts. We have no original thinkers anymore. Everything is handed to us, and we basically come up with no original thinking. Even our way of thinking has been interrupted and redirected and programmed. So we basically have no original thoughts, and therefore the dead internet theory and the simulation theory is an actual thing, if you look at it that way. Oh God. But your original thoughts are formed off what you've already heard from somebody else. Think about it. And y'all want to know why that is? Why we have no more original thinkers? Why nothing new is being done? Why nothing new is being relayed? Nothing really, guys. It's because of the invention of the modern age. I mean, if we can go all the way back to the industrial age. When we started doing the industrial age, and we started working for a living, and then part of that working for a living is we work for our entertainment, our relaxation, and that led us to our TVs and computers and cell phones, and etc., and everything after that. It led us away from being able to sit down and converse with each other and talk about these original thoughts that we had that wasn't sullied or programmed by a TV screen or a newspaper article or a radio show telling us what we should think. We actually sat down and talked to each other and reasoned these things out. And talked about these things. We debated, friendly, sometimes not so friendly, but we talked about original thoughts in our head instead of someone else telling us what we should think or how we should think. Belief system. So yeah, that's kind of what happened, guys. Is when they introduced the Industrial Revolution and everybody had to start actually working for a living, so you could pay for the stuff that you was enjoying, that you was working for, the getting. So anyway, it was a trade-off. Y'all know how that blah 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 and everything like that. But we stopped having any leisure time, really. So we had no time to talk and converse and direct our ideas and everything. That's the truth. We was closer. We was more communicative. We had more talk. Our language, even our ability to converse with each other, was more flourished. They had a lot of more words that they used instead of our basic 25 or 35 word vocabulary that most people have anymore. So yeah, it was a different time. And because of modernization, invent of the television, etc., movie theaters, etc., and on through the down the line, here we are. We don't get out and talk to our neighbors. We don't have debates. We don't listen, and we don't to the politicians, and we don't make the politicians stand for what they say anymore. Or any of our public leaders, any of our religious leaders, any of our school teachers or educators. Nobody is held accountable anymore. It's all because we've gotten away more worried about our leisure time than we are about the world. I'm good.
I know. You told me that.
Accountability would be a good thing. And guys, we know already that a lot of people are put in prison for their entire life on circumstantial evidence. Why cannot we hold the people that's supposed to be held accountable the same way they hold us accountable on circumstantial evidence? We have enough to prosecute. We have enough to imprison, convict. We just need to have a court trial and then carry out the sentence. I need to be quiet. I'm going to get in trouble here if I keep going. No, the reason we don't do it is because we're too worried about our leisure time. We're too worried about being able to sit down in front of the TV and watch Dallas lose again and the Kardashians. We don't want to spend time talking to people and holding them accountable. Oh yeah. Well, I know one court that isn't controlled that's in Kentucky right now. Sorry, man, but the son of a bitch deserved to get his head blown off. Fucking pedophiles. Steve-O, man, that, well, I know it's a little bit away from me, but that woman that chopped her mom up and put her in the oven the other day, damn it, son. What the hell's going on in Kentucky, dude? Religion is fake if you want to think of it as fake. It's all faith-based. So if a person has strong faith in their religion, that's for them. Ryan, I'm sorry, Ryan. I keep calling you Pedo Joe. Yes, God is real. The ideas we have about it might be a little misconstrued. We went over this before and I forgot your name, Ryan. I'm sorry. I hope it. If you got pissed off, oh well. No, I'm sorry if I offended. I'm getting ready to go ahead and call it a night anyway, guys. I'm getting real kind of hoarse and everything. We've got a big holiday coming up for the kiddos. If you're going to do the candy stuff, guys, light up everything around your house so they can see the way in and out. Make sure they can see it's safe. And be cautious yourself. If you don't have a camera, a doorbell camera or something like that, a security system, if you got an old phone, there's programs on there. You can go on YouTube and look up stuff about turn your cell phone into a security camera. So, with the holidays coming up and everything like that, and everything that's going on, guys, if you got a couple old phones, it wouldn't hurt to set them up as a security system to keep an eye on what's going on. Of course, you can watch the YouTube videos and learn a little bit about it, but it's not real hard to do, and it might be able to help you out in the long run. Anyway, guys, it's been a groovy time. I appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out. It's been really cool. I appreciate it. I hope y'all enjoyed yourselves, and as I say, always do something nice for somebody else, guys. I know this is trying times, and it's hard to find out who to be nice to or who to be good to. But one of the things me and Anna talked about and everything, we talked about these charities, the giant charitable organizations and everything. And y'all know how they work. You give them a $5 donation, and only 10% of that actually goes to benefit the people that it's supposed to. And it don't matter which one it is. Almost every one of all the big ones do the same thing. 12 to 10%, maybe 15% goes actually to help the people. The rest of it is an overhead. And it's every one of them. If y'all want to help somebody, go to Salvation Army. Somebody actually go to these soup kitchens and help them. Give them donations, stuff like that. Or the guy you see on the street. And a lot of people take exception about helping the guy that's standing on the corner with his hand out. And this is the thing, guys. We talk about God and faith and belief and everything a little bit on here and everything like that. And this is one of the things I do believe, that if God meant for me not to give that person money or to help that person, then they wouldn't have been put in my path. It isn't up to me what that person does with the help, the benefit I give them, or whatever else. It isn't up to me what they do with it. My whole idea about this is that I was pushed or shown that I could help this person or help this group or whatever, do this, whatever. And that's all I need to know. That's all I need to know about it. And I don't understand why people get a big hang up. These people, maybe they're lying about their position and what they got in life. That's not up to you to decide. What's up to you to decide is what you're led to do. Whether you're led to help or not. And follow your heart, guys, and do this. Don't give to the big corporate entities that spend 90% of their money on these corporate jets and these chauffeur-driven cars and these $4 million mansions. All right. The Salvation Army is a good place to start with, guys, because at the Salvation Army, all the money, almost every bit of that money goes back directly to that mission, that church, or that army there, that Salvation Army. Most of it goes back. They have like a 15% that goes back to the national organization. But most of that money goes right back there. veterans group, your local veterans groups, so and things like that, guys. These people you can help. Even the guy on the street. You don't have to give them $5. Ask them if they're hungry. All right. Ask them if they're thirsty. It don't hurt you. Ask them if they want a cup of coffee. All right. It's whatever you're led to do. Don't worry about what they're going to do with it. It's up to you what you're going to do for yourself, about yourself. Y'all have a groovy night, guys, all right? And you know, times are getting tough. We need to start thinking about what we can do to help others. You know, what comes around goes around, you know? You help somebody else, you always get back tenfold, right? Y'all have a groovy night. Be safe, everybody. Later, taters.